This is the Virtue Ace and Spire IV review. I mean, I don't really want to call this necessarily a review, mainly because the Virtue Ace isn't really an entirely new paintball gun, and then the Spire IV isn't really an entirely new hopper either. So the Virtue Ace is really just a DLX Luxe X. The Luxe X is a high-end paintball gun. It's $1,500, so it's gonna have all those high-end, really nice features. And then the Spire IV is really just a Spire III with a little bit of tweaks to the shell and then new software to make it work with the Virtue Ace. And since the Virtue Ace really is that Luxe X, it's gonna carry a lot of those Luxe X features. So it has the X-Core bolt system that I really like. It's quick release, it comes out really simple, they shoot well, it's been very reliable. Has the quick release frame, so you can just pop off that trigger frame really simply. Makes servicing and cleaning stuff just a little bit simpler. Still comes with the Freak XL barrel, the most popular barrel kit on the market. And it's still a Luxe X, so it's very good. And I'm not gonna go into crazy detail with this thing, as we've kinda already gone into detail on the whole Luxe X before. To watch a full review, check out up there. So on the inside, it's really kind of the same gun as the Luxe X, so it's gonna shoot similar and those ergonomics are gonna be similar, but it does feel a little bit different on the foregrip, mainly because they changed that foregrip. So they actually added this like plastic acrylic piece to the front. I don't know, a lot of people dislike that it's plastic. I don't know, I think on the foregrip, it's perfectly fine. I don't really think you're gonna break it, and to me, I actually like this feel. I like foregrips that kind of have a weird, unique shape. I think it just, I don't know, I can just grab that foregrip a little bit easier. When they're really smooth and like, I don't know, just smooth like the Luxe X, I find that I can't get as good a grip on them. So I actually really like the way that the Ace foregrip feels. They've also made the back cap out of the same material. And on the back cap, it's a little weird, right? Because you gotta pull up on the back cap and like apply leverage. So it does feel a little bit sketchy how it's made out of plastic. So what Virtue did was just add an aluminum back cap in the box. So if you wanna take off that acrylic back cap, you can easily put on the aluminum one. So it's a little bit different on the outside. We got the same bolt system, so it's gonna shoot the same, but really the difference is the electronics. So the idea was have the paintball gun and that hopper pair together and like, you know, work in unison together. So normally on paintball guns, we'll take for example the Spire III, the predecessor to the Spire IV. The Spire III worked by sensing vibrations of the gun. So the hopper would kind of like, you know, shift or jiggle around a little bit because the gun would shoot, and the hopper would know to rotate and then spin or force a ball into the paintball gun. But with the Ace, you actually pair Bluetooth the gun and the hopper up. So every time you pull the trigger, the hopper will spin. Even if it's off the gun or you're completely stationary, you're out of paint, if those two things are like paired up together, the hopper and the gun, it's gonna feed a paintball every time you pull the trigger. You know, which is cool, I guess, but I don't know, I'm not really necessarily sure why. You know, like, it's cool that it's wireless, it works really well, it was easy to program, but I don't really know why. I'm not really sure that the Bluetooth, you know, motor spinning and all that stuff is necessarily quicker or faster or more responsive than just using the gyroscope or using like a microphone or using infrared eyes like we have in the past. So while it's cool, it's neat, it's like modern and new and slick, I'm not sure, you know, why. So the loader has Bluetooth and the paintball gun have Bluetooth. And my biggest concern with a lot of these paintball products a lot of the time is how well they're gonna work, you know, like the electronics. And I was all concerned that this would just not go well and it would be weird. But being able to pair the gun to a phone or the hopper to a phone and vice versa was very easy. I mean, it literally takes like 2 to 3 seconds to pair them. You don't have to go into like some crazy mode and like do all these settings and stuff. It was very easy, and I was quite shocked at really just how easy it is to pair the gun to a phone or pair the hopper to a phone. And it all worked very well. I never had a single issue. I was kind of surprised. And paired together, that Ace and the, you know, Spire IV worked perfectly fine. I played nearly all day, probably, maybe shot almost a case and a half. I don't know, didn't really break any paint. Actually, I don't think I broke a single ball all day. Fed fine, gun worked perfect, hopper fed fine, synced up good. Yeah, just worked fine. And you don't have to use like that Bluetooth pairing either. So since the Spire IV is really a Spire III with just new software, you could like, you know, disable the Bluetooth and use it on a different gun, or disable the Bluetooth and use the Spire IR, or I should say, sorry, the Spire IV and that Virtue Ace just together. It's really hard for me to say Virtue Ace is a paintball gun. I always want to call it a Luxe Ace. I'm getting better though. So these things are definitely expensive. Right now they're $2,000 where you get the Virtue Ace and the Spire IV. And $2,000, you know, it's a lot of money for a paintball gun. But when we look at like, you know, the Luxe X and the Spire IV, I mean, that's $1,750, you know, so it's close to that $2,000. And at least with the Ace, you are getting something that's unique. You're getting those cool acrylic parts that got that like, you know, shimmery coolness on it. And with the gold one, there's only 70, so they're pretty rare. They're $2,000. I don't know, that's what I got for you guys. Enjoy October. Or, you know, whatever month it is. It could be June.